You're listening to Co-operative Multiplayer. The official podcast of the 4-in-1 Game Zone.
Hello and welcome to another Co-operative Multiplayer Live, the official 4-in-1 Game Zone podcast. And I am your host, Sean Garner, and with me is our usual co-host here, Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
Well, how have things gone for you
Pretty alright.
this week?
Played some games and got some stuff. You?
Lots of stuff going on that isn't gaming related. Just football season started. Had to start doing the 2 a weeks for the sports podcast. Watched so much daggum NFL football on Monday. I think I was like footballed out by the time we got to doing that show. But yeah, just got to play a little bit of Disgaea still, since I'm doing the review. Hopefully I can play a lot more so I can get that out when the embargo goes out. But
Yeah.
we shall see. I don't think it comes out until like October though. So.
I thought you said the 22nd.
Well, the 22nd is when the embargo goes, but I don't think the game comes out the 22nd. It comes out at like October 6th. Because they said something about a launch trailer is not coming until October. So.
Probably want to
I
give
guess-
people time to play it.
Yeah, and they also probably want to let people have early reviews and stuff like that, which is weird because I can't imagine people that are just Disgaea fans are just not going to buy it. I mean, that'd be kind of weird. No, I mean, that game, you know, it's Disgaea. I mean, it's, you know, it doesn't really...
It needs
They
to
change
come with.
things. Do what?
It needs to come with a pair of collector's panties in order for people to buy it.
Yeah, I still can't talk about a whole lot because it doesn't really... A lot of games, you know, they tell you what you can and cannot talk about. This one doesn't tell you anything about what
Yeah.
you can and cannot talk about. So I'm just going to take the safe end and just say, okay, I'm not going to talk about anything.
Yeah.
Keep it there. But you had your review of Disney Infinity 3.0 come out.
Yeah, it went up and I had a big error in it, which my friend Matt pointed out.
That's always great when one of the producers for the game just points that out.
Yeah, well, it was unintentional. I called the set, the like Star Wars play set, Twilight of the Empire. It's really Twilight of the Republic.
Darn Star Wars and their various names for things.
Yeah, I thought it was Twilight of the... I think that's supposed to be like a movie title or something like down the road. But I'm still trying to have Jeremy change it or someone else change it if they can.
Oh, they haven't changed it yet?
No, I know it's doable, but just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I mean, all they have to do is just...
I wish I had that power.
Yeah, no, it sucks. The only thing that does suck about it is that they basically have to change it and then repost it. And then you would
Okay.
have to go in and change the time to make it looks like...
It was right on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know how much of a pain that really is to do, because they do it with the podcasts. Not this one, but the wrestling one, when they want to... Because they don't want to put it as the top thing on
Yeah.
the columns. They'll just change the time so that it makes it seem like I posted it earlier.
Ah.
We
Well.
shall see. I mean, it's what, one word? I mean,
Yeah. Well, I used it twice, but yeah. What else? I got a new modded Xbox that I kind of broke, but somehow fixed.
how'd you break it?
It starts off, when I turn it on, it has this really funky boot animation that I wanted to get rid of. So I thought I could just go into the mod chip setting and reset it. And the minute I did that, it wiped the settings for how to boot the system.
Oh.
So when I flipped it back on, it was like it booted into like the normal Xbox dashboard, and it was like, "What the fuck?" Like, you did something. We know you did something. What happened?
Huh.
Like the hard drive got like locked for some reason.
Crap.
Well, they're always locked, but like
Right.
it wouldn't boot the hard drive, so I had to go back into set like mod chip and kind of. It's working a little now, but not how it was, which is kind of a bummer.
So what can you not do? Or...
I can't get rid of that stupid message at the start, which really annoys me. I think the mod chip is like locked too for some reason, which is new to me. Because I can't like flash it. I can't like put any new firmware on it, and I should be able to. What else? Yeah, I played a lot of Metal Gear. Played some of WWE 2K15, and I played a little
How is
Mario.
that on PC?
It's pretty funny because there's like an audience density slider, so you can set like how much, or it's supposed to be like for graphics, like how much audience your computer can handle. So I set it to like low, so the audience is like 1/5 filled. And it's a lot more accurate to a WWE show now.
Ha! Nice.
I just don't like that game. I don't think, and I actually reasonably like. I think 13. That's the last one I had.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that game is not good at all.
Like, it doesn't have a training mode, and I think I asked you, like, where is it? And you're like, the career mode, but I want, like, an option at the start that says, this is how you play this game.
Yeah, I think because the career mode was, like, the big thing they were touting for that game, they pretty much figured that most people would play the career mode, and then you would learn how to play, or that, most people that are playing that game know how to play it. But, I mean, on PC, it's a little different, so... Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're using the gamepad, it's the same thing, but...
Yeah, but it's just still not explained, like, how you, like, pick up weapons, or, like, how you climb to the top rope instead of just the second rope and stuff like that. Like, it's just very strange.
Yeah, some of it is... I mean, the controls for that game, the way they did the game, period, the kick-out animation, which they supposedly changed with the new game now. All the stuff is just... There's so much wrong with that game, and the career mode itself is boring. So...
Yeah, I haven't even touched it. I've just been, like, doing, like, singles matches occasionally.
Well, it just takes forever for you to get to one... Because you have to fill up this meter of after winning and doing all this other stuff. And then when you fill up a meter, okay, you move to the next show, and the next show. And it's not like, okay, you go from NXT to Superstars to main event to SmackDown, then, God, by the time you get to Raw, it's freaking, next year, it feels like, okay, well, 2K16 is going to come out by the time I get to Raw.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have that kind of time. And, God bless anybody else that had the time to play that game like that.
Yeah. And I sunk about 40 hours into Metal Gear, and I finally beat Chapter 1.
Wow. Is Chapter 2 short or something?
No, doesn't look like it at all.
So basically...
I'm like halfway done, maybe.
Yeah.
I think there's a Chapter 3 also, but I heard that's a short one for some reason.
Well, I mean, at least they don't make you have to go through 40 hours for every chapter.
Yeah, and it's pretty cumulative. Like, I mean, you carry stuff over, which is nice. It's all like one big story. Like, I defeated the big stupid mech, so I'm happy about that, but like, you defeat it and then you land it on your base, and I'm like, oh, I'm sure this is gonna go real well.
I've heard the online mode of the single player doesn't work that great.
Yeah, I don't know about console, but on PC it's pretty busted. Like, it keeps, like, disconnecting me, and it tries to reconnect, and, like, it interrupts the missions, because you have to go to the, like, forward base tutorial thing, and It just never quite works.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Especially for, how much you pay for the game and all that, and then it doesn't work.
No, I mean, single player works, and if you just disconnect, it's fine. So, I mean,
Well, no, I meant like, the online.
Yeah. That's like it's annoying, but I mean, considering how good the game is, aside from that, it's worth suffering through, I would say.
Right. Well, if in case for some reason you don't know, even though the bulk of Tokyo Game Show is happening from today on to about, I think, the 20th, which would be Sunday. Yeah. Sunday. So, maybe on next week's show, which hopefully will be on Tuesday night or whatever, we'll be able to get into the bulk of what was announced or anything that was shown. We're kind of get to talk about what Sony announced at their press conference and some of the other things that were announced a little bit after that. But yeah, I mean, Sony did have quite a few things to show. Square Enix also had a few things that they shown, namely what we talked about last week on the show, which even though it's not called 2.9, it is called 2.8 with the Roman numeral 2.8. Seriously. Only Tetsuya Nomura at this point, man. Like, are you just trying to make this game even weirder? Like, just, come on. Seriously.
The next game is just going to be like Final Fantasy, and then like a logical argument broken up into symbolic logic. It'll just be like A dot B in parentheses C if then D or something like that.
Right. I mean, and I thought that I could sideswipe and not have to get this, but apparently I do, because not only have they included a remaster of the 3DS Dream Drop Distance, which I already have this game on 3DS, but they're including an extra like sequel sort of to Birth by Sleep called A Fragmentary Passage, which is like a new part of the story that takes place after Birth by Sleep, told from the perspective of Aqua. And then you also get scenes from the Unchained X, which is called Back Cover for some reason. Is Unchained X, I guess, something I've never heard of? I just don't even know what that's supposed to be. Is that supposed to be part of the...
I think it's just made up. No, I don't think so. Honestly, I wouldn't even buy it. I would just watch everything on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll get put on YouTube. I still need to play Dream Drop Distance, but I need to go back to start getting myself into playing those games again. It's just so much other things going on. I also might end up having to restart the whole damn thing if I can't beat Ansem Riku at some point here, which sucks. But, it is what it is. It's not like, we're in a rush here because Kingdom Hearts 3 ain't coming out anytime soon. At the rate that they're going. This really seems... The what?
It'll be out in 2016, no problem.
That's what they say. Yeah, I mean, this just seems like another... Oh, here's something so that you don't think about the fact that Kingdom Hearts 3 is still in development or whatever. But, I mean... If you didn't get the 3DS game, is this really worth it? I mean, this is coming to the PS4, even though the other two games are not on the PS4.
None of those games are worth it, except for 1 and 2. I reasonably liked the PSP one, but even that's not worth it.
Oh, Birth by Sleep is really good. Chain of Memories is... Eesh. It gets boring after a while.
What about the card game? Wasn't that Chain of Memories?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chain of Memories it gets boring after a while because it's really just... You're redoing all the stuff from 1.
Except in card form.
Yeah, which, I mean, the strategy is cool, but eventually that also gets annoying and boring.
That's like people who like Triple Triad. People are nuts.
Yeah, I mean, Triple Triad's cool again, but I can't sit there and play it forever and ever like some people do. Just,
Now, Gwent, on the other hand, in The Witcher 3 is pretty cool.
Ah. Well.
That's a real man's card game.
Good to know. So another thing that apparently, Sony wanted to make a big deal, but honestly have to wonder if it really is or not. It makes a lot of sense so that there's no confusion. Obviously, they're not going to bring out something that's called Project Morpheus either, but it's now simply called PlayStation VR, so that you know exactly what it is whenever it hits store shelves.
Nice imaginative name.
Yeah, but I think they just wanted to make it plain and simple so that when you see it, you know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it's that big a deal. I still don't see the. I mean, I get it that VR is going to be something, but I still don't see it as this mass thing that everybody's going to go out and buy.
I don't see it as that because I think for most people it's just going to be too expensive.
Right.
Especially like that Oculus thing. Like, I'm sure it'll be amazing, but you need at least $1,000 computer to run it. At least.
And most people don't just want to go spend $1,000 on a computer.
Yeah.
I mean, my computer that I have right now costs that, and I'm worried about it probably not being able to run it. Probably.
No, like the Morpheus, it requires an NVIDIA 980 video card.
Oh yeah, no way.
Which, I mean, a lot of gaming computers have that, but no, like, just off-the-shelf computer has that.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm assuming most off-the-shelf people are not just going to buy an Oculus either.
I mean, maybe. I mean, if that's the one that people latch onto, they might. But it's like, to get this thing, it'll be $300, hopefully, and then it'll be another $1,200 computer. It's like, no one's going to do that.
$1,500 for that thing? No, thank you. You can buy all the consoles for that price and still have something left over. I mean, I did notice. I forgot which NFL game it was, but somebody was using an Oculus, and they made a big point about that. I thought that was kind of cool that they were just kind of putting it into just any regular old thing. I still don't know that it's going to totally catch on with everyone, but.
Well, it'll just be like that first-person football from NFL, ESPN 2K5.
Yeah,
don't
play with that mode.
The last good football game.
Except for that first-person mode, it wasn't really good.
Hey, it had Steve-O, that's all you care about in football games.
True. They did come out with a new PlayStation 4 with different colors, controllers, and hard drive covers, and also a $50 price drop in Japan, which seems to indicate that probably around the holiday season, when Microsoft is maybe taking a price cut or doing a big bundle with Tomb Raider and everything, PS4 is going to combat that with we're now $350 for the regular 500 gigabyte version.
I think the PS4 just needs better packing games. Like, that's the one thing that Microsoft does pretty well.
I mean, GTA 5 is still selling.
Yeah, but like when I got my PS4, it was like The Last of Us. What are the packing games now? Like GTA 5 and like Destiny?
GTA 5,
if you get that one.
Yeah. Destiny, and I think it was like NBA 2K5 and Far Cry 4 at one point. I don't know what it is aside from GTA 5 right now, but I mean, I got the Last of Us 1 too, but I'd never played Last of Us on PS3, so it kind of worked out for me.
See, I did. Like, I imagine like a lot of or PlayStation fans did. So I was like, all right, this is fine, but
yeah. I mean, it's not like you were paying extra for the game or anything, so
yeah,
it's one of those things. I mean, speaking of that, that included a digital version of Last of Us. You had to put in the code that they gave you on this card, and GameStop says that they are no longer going to sell bundles that have digital games in them. Well, guess what, GameStop? They're not going to stop making bundles that have digital games.
GameStop will just open it before they take the console and just remove the card.
What? So they're gonna sell it refurbished for $30 less, I guess, just to.
Well, they're offering like a physical copy of the game, like instead.
Okay.
So like instead of getting like Destiny, when you buy the PS bundle, you get like the physical game instead because they want you to get in the store.
Right. I mean, look, I understand GameStop. It's a way to. I mean, the thing is, I don't know what they're gonna do when all the games go digital eventually, but you might want to get used to start selling these little cards because that's what you're going to be selling if you still want to have these brick and mortars. This is also why we're seeing them branch out to selling all kinds of other things in their stores. They have those pop figures. They have so many other things. Now they're going to open up their own Think Geek store where they're selling all this other stuff just to try to get to that point where they're sustainable without just having games, because at some point we're not going to get so many retail versions of the games and they won't be able to do trade-ins and stuff like that.
One thing that would help GameStop when you go in, you don't feel like you're getting hassled.
Yeah. When you call, I don't need to hear the 20 games that I can pre-order before you talk to me.
Yeah, there shouldn't be like a checklist. Like, do you have Game Informer subscription? Do you have the power-up card? Do you have any games you want to pre-order or trade in? It's like, no, I want to buy this game. I don't want a goddamn pre-order, and I want to leave. And if not, I'll go to Best Buy.
Yeah, I mean, the pre-order thing I'm kind of fine with, because sometimes I have realized that, oh crap, I didn't even know this game was coming out. Thanks. Maybe I'll put $5 down. But like the other stuff is just kind of like, okay, remind me of the power-up card when my subscription is coming up. Okay, makes sense. Like, I know mine's due in October, so like next month I'm sure somebody's going to tell me, hey, your thing's going to be coming up, do you want to renew it? I'll be like, okay, whatever, here's my $15 and whatnot. But like, I don't need, the credit card thing, it not happening. Just like, and you don't even want to tell people on the stupid credit card, like, why are you telling me about it? Just leave it alone. It's just, I mean, I understand it's retail. They got to try to sell people on stuff and whatnot, but like you said, tone it down a little bit. Don't make me feel like I need to buy something else before I walk out of the store. I mean, I'm already buying, a $20 game or $60 game or something. Just, I mean, the thing too with GameStop is, it's one of these, they're getting mad at a company that they obviously don't want you to trade in their games. They want you to keep the game longer. This is why they come out with season passes and DLC and all that, so that you don't trade in the game, so that you'll want to later sit there and go, oh crap, there was this DLC that I really wanted. Or I mean, I don't know about some of the things that they're doing now, like Fallout I can understand, but I think there's another game that already came out with, you can buy this season pass. We have no idea what's going to be on it, but you can buy it. And it's like, hey, we're getting a little bit extra on the season pass.
Well, like Assassin's Creed already does that. Like they're releasing another slate of Mortal Kombat fighters. It's like, give me a break.
Yeah, but I mean, at least they kind of tell you the Mortal Kombat fighters, right? Like,
They haven't yet. They just said new fighters are coming, yeah.
I mean, it's cool and all that you get Jack the Ripper DLC, but, you could have told us that before everybody paid the $30, especially considering what happened with Unity. And, it just, I mean, I trust Bethesda with Fallout, considering that, the DLC they've done for that and the DLC they did with Skyrim, but still, I just don't like the way they're going with, okay, here's a season pass, we're going to tell you what's on it later, go ahead and spend your $30. I get that they want extra money and all that stuff, and that's kind of how they make money too, without having to split some of the retail with somebody else, but it's just, it's slippery slope I think that we're going down in gaming. Speaking of a slippery slope, this Resident Evil game that Capcom announced called Biohazard Umbrella Corps, which you have listed here as a competitive online shooter. Why the hell? Isn't this like the 20th or 30th anniversary of Resident Evil? Why the hell is this a game?
Well, that's just what Resident Evil fans want. They don't want the slow-moving, high-selling Resident Evil remake that, put them on the map a year or 6 months ago. They want a competitive team-based shooter. There's not enough of those in the world.
That's not Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think of Resident Evil, that's the last thing I think about.
Well, it's supposed to be like, I think it's might be like Operation Raccoon City, or like Outbreak.
Oh, and that game was great.
Yeah. Or the PS2 games. I forget what they're called. I think Outbreak 1 and 2.
Yeah, like Outbreak at Operation Raccoon City was a 360 and PS3 game, and it's terrible.
Yeah. Like,
and
they keep trying to shoehorn in like action beats into Resident Evil, and it just never quite works because it's not a franchise that can. It's action genre.
Oh, I mean, 5 is their highest selling Resident Evil ever, apparently. So, I don't know. 4 worked, but after that, it just kind of went way to the extreme. And
well,
then,
4.
you know,
I think 4 worked because it was a pretty. It was action oriented, but it still had a lot of horror elements to it.
Yeah, especially the first part of the game was still Resident Evil, and then the second half was kind of
actiony, which
it became later.
I mean, that game hasn't aged particularly well, but it still kind of holds up. I don't think 5 does at all, and 6 really doesn't.
Yeah, 6 was bad by all accounts, but
I just didn't like the partner stuff in 5. Like, that was the worst part in 4. Like, having to deal with Ashley, like, as you're playing with Leon, and I couldn't believe they expanded that to 5 to do the whole game. I'm like, what?
I guess they figured that having co-op would really sell the game for people, but I mean, I guess it did. It's their highest selling Resident Evil, but it's just, especially when you're gonna have like these nameless people that you're gonna be using and whatever. It doesn't make sense to me why we're doing this game.
I just hope you can create a character and it can be a giant block of tofu running around.
That would be great. I think I might buy that if that happens.
With like the different colors of tofu, that's how you change. That's how you change outfits.
Yeah, but at least they're still doing the Resident Evil 2 remake, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are like 2 different people at that company who are like split on what to do with Resident Evil. Like the one guy is like, I want to make this remake, and the other guy is like, I want to make an action online shooter. And someone's like, I guess do both and see what happens.
Yeah, it amazes me who's sitting here doing this stuff for this company. It's like everything that comes out of that company now is a remake or something that has to do with an old thing with like Mega Man that's also a collection. I mean, it's just, do we do anything original anymore, Capcom, at all? Just amazing. I mean, we have heard absolutely nothing about Deep Down, and that game came out but it was announced at the launch event for the PS4. I mean, just ridiculous. But hey, at least Bloodborne players are going to get their expansion pretty soon. It's called the Old Hunters. So, I still have not played that game, and nor do I think I intend to.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
A zillion times.
I've heard it's more easy to play, but like it's like 10% more easy, and that's not enough for me.
I've heard it streamlines a lot of things that Dark Souls kind of made difficult too, but it's just one of those. I just don't want to die 100 times before I finally get it, and I hopefully don't get so frustrated I start throwing things. It's just not the kind of game I want to be sitting there playing. But you could get Yakuza 6 exclusive to the PS4. Don't know when that's coming to the US since Yakuza 5 hasn't even come over here yet. But we're getting a Yakuza 1 remake too. So, are you excited for?
I kind of am. I've never played any of those games, but I have like friends who like them a lot. And I'm curious to give it a shot. Like, that's all I can kind of say.
I played the Yakuza 4 that came to the PS Plus for a little bit. It seems more like more self-aware Sleeping Dogs. Like, they do crazy stuff in that game that's, very Japanese. And it's totally okay because that's the way the game is, you know. Like there's a scene where he just like slaps some girl or something, and you're just like, okay, that happened, you know. But I've heard it's really good, and I kind of enjoyed a lot of what was happening. But it's, you know, the open world, that kind of thing. So, you know, if you're into that.
All I can hope is if they in the Yakuza 1 remake, they keep Eliza Dushku as a voice actress.
Let's see if they want to pay her all the royalties for that. King of Fighters 14. Gosh, there's been 14 of these in Japan. It comes out in Japan in January. No idea when it comes out here. I'm sure it will at some point. They usually do. Are you a King of Fighter fan?
Not really. Like I think the only one I got into was like King of Fighters 99 on the Dreamcast, which was that was a while ago. I mean, they're competent enough fighters, but I don't really know who to play in those games except for like Mai. That's about it. I mean, they're fine, but like they don't really have any story, which is kind of what I like about fighting games.
Right. I mean, that's what was cool about the Persona fighting games, is it was almost like a visual novel, sort of a Persona.
Yeah, that probably went like a little too overboard, but at least it tried.
Right. I mean, but they were trying also to put in, you know, a game that's not really a traditional fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I played like a little Marvel vs. Capcom 2 over the weekend, and that game just has like no story at all. Like, it's just like arcade mode, and that's it. Like, no attempt at all to like explain what the hell is going on.
Yeah, that was more like, these characters are all together in one game. Go buy it, and people did. So.
Yeah, but at least the old game had endings and stuff.
Yeah, like 2, they said, okay, we're gonna just scrap all that. Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, as I was mentioning with the Persona, apparently Dancing All Night is like that too. It's a bunch of visual novel story, and you really don't dance that much in the game. At least in the campaign mode.
That's fine, though. I mean, what do you want?
I mean, that kind of makes me actually want to play the game, even though I don't think I'm going to get a Vita anytime soon, unless they drop in price, because, you know, it's a Vita. There's only so many games that you can buy for the thing.
The worst one was Guilty Gear Zerd. Like, the story mode is just like a 2-hour anime movie.
Oh, that might be interesting.
No fighting at all.
And why is it a fighting game?
Because it's a good fighting game, but it's like, why is this in here? Why not just have it as an anime option?
That's weird, because the other games are all about the fighting and stuff. I don't remember that being in much of the other games, but
yeah,
maybe they did it for that. Another reason to get a Vita is for Danganronpa, which is one of the big games on the Vita, at least the first and second one, because the third one is going to come to the PS4. No word yet on if the first and second one are, but you would have to think, since it's an actual story that continues, they would have to come at some point here. And if they do, I think I'm going to get them. I think I'm excited for 3 coming to PS4, which means I can finally play it. I mean, I don't know how you are with the whole visual novel thing, but the story is really interesting.
Yeah, I haven't played them, but I've heard they're like well reviewed, or like people like them, so we'll see.
All I care about is trying to fight off possessed bear. That has me hooked right there.
You should go play Fear or Condemned 2 for that.
I guess I could. Probably find it cheap somewhere. Gravity Rush 1 and 2 are coming to the PS4. Pretty cool to see Gravity Rush 2 coming. I know Gravity Rush 1 was pretty awesome. You a big fan?
Nope, never heard of until that announcement I never even heard of it before.
Yeah, Gravity Rush I got to play it at a friend's house. It was pretty cool game. One of those games was like, I don't have a Vita. But if I remember right, I swear the first one I think I'm thinking of something else. Might have come to some other system, but I think I'm wrong on that one. But it looks like a lot of fun. So hopefully, when it comes to the PS4, it is all that everybody keeps saying it is. I think the last thing I have is there's a new Hot Shots Golf of all things.
Yep.
I haven't played Hot Shots Golf since like the PS2.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not I don't like golf games that much, but at least like that attempted to be fun, and it was pretty simple.
Yeah, that's what was cool about Hot Shots. It's fun, before Wii Golf came around, this was the game that you played to, have fun playing golf and not really worried so much about, oh my god, I didn't hit the birdie or whatever. It was just something that you had a crazy looking character and you just did fun stuff on.
Especially since that like latest EA golf game like apparently was not good at all.
Oh yeah, Roy McIlroy, whatever.
Yeah.
Somehow it's still sold enough to be in the top MPD for that month. It was ridiculous. Can you believe this? Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice, the 3DS games, are delayed, or the 3DS game, I think it's just one.
Yeah.
It's delayed to 2016 for quality concerns. You know what? You shouldn't even be making the game in the first place. That's the quality concern that I have.
Yeah, I think they might have to because of that stupid cartoon, but I would just scrap that entire thing, honestly.
I think this is their last game in their deal with Nintendo. That's also why they have to make it.
Oh. Like, I think they should either let Sonic die or actually have someone intelligent look at how to make a game like that in this, like, gaming climate.
Yeah, I don't know that can be solved. It seems like Sonic just needs to go away for a while, honestly.
Like, the only thing I would actually like is probably like an HD remake of the first 3.5, maybe 4 games. Like, that'd be fine.
Yeah, that would be cool.
If they did it right, but I mean...
One to Sonic and Knuckles or something?
I'd probably throw in Sonic CD also, but yeah, just have like those 5 games. That's all you need.
I would agree. Would be nice to see, but don't think they're going to do it. They'll just keep releasing the old classic versions, and I think that's enough. Project X Zone 2 is coming out in February 2016, February 16th to be exact, and then February 19th in Europe. If you don't know what this game is, it's like an anime, like, turn-based tactics game that has, like, the guy from Ace Attorney, Mega Man, Yakuza, Street Fighter, Tekken, Shinobi, Resident Evil 6, Space Channel 5, and more all in one game. It's like a Sega and Capcom, like, strategy, so...
It reminds me a lot... Oh, go on.
Yeah, the first one was pretty cool. So...
It reminds me a lot of a game that never came out in America called Namco X Capcom.
Did it have anybody different from... Oh, yeah, it would have been the Namco...
Yeah, it was like a lot of Soul Calibur characters. I think Cosmos was in it. I'm not sure if that's Capcom or not, but... yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, that seems pretty awesome, just to have the Soul Calibur.
Like, it was a strategy game, but it had, like, direct control. And you had to, like, enter in commands to, like, do special moves.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of Tekken characters, and, what you'd expect. Klonoa was in it, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, Klonoa. Awesome. Huh. That's probably the last time somebody heard of Klonoa.
Yeah.
Well, unless it came out for the GBA, then I guess not.
And, like, some Tails characters also.
Oh, wow. Man, they should think about, like, re-releasing that or something.
Well, it never came out in America, but there are, like, fan translation, like, patches that just make the game in English.
And it was for what system?
PS2.
Ah.
The intro, I'll show you the intro later. The intro's, like, really insane. It's
I'd
like this whole,
imagine.
it's like this whole anime thing. It's pretty funky but cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you like the first one at all, this one should be even better. If not, I would check out the first one because I enjoyed it. Did not know what to expect, and I was like, wow, this is like one of the best games on the 3DS. So there's that. We also have Walmart is freaking selling a Star Wars Battlefront Special Edition for $130 that has a Han Solo mini fridge that holds 6 cans of whatever drink you desire. It also, I think, pulls out the shelf. So if you want to rearrange your mini fridge, I guess, whatever. But yeah, that's interesting. Would you consider getting that?
No, because I don't care about Battlefront. The more I see of that game, the more I just get befuddled by people who are into it. I'm just like, what is this thing?
Yeah, I mean, if you really love that Han Solo and bicarbonate thing.
But I also see I've seen a lot of the old Battlefront 3 footage.
Right.
So that still looks like worlds better than this thing. So I just get more bummed out that it never came out.
I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not spending $130 to get that, but whatever.
Maybe even include night vision goggles on the fridge.
For what reason?
Just
So
put them on. Just put them on Han Solo.
Then wouldn't you be covering his face to kind of defeat the purpose?
Yeah, it'd be funny though.
Yeah. Someone will probably do it, I'm sure. So, did you know that Zune Music is still around? I didn't.
I kind of did because I think that's still the only way you can play custom music on the Xbox One.
Oh, really?
I don't think you can just plug in an MP3 player. I'm not sure though, but I think that was one of the big things they're kind of touting. You can.
Oh, you never could do that. I don't think even in the Xbox 360 you could. You had to do it with the USB.
No, you could do it with an MP3 player, just fine.
You could?
Yeah, like an iPod, it just worked fine.
Huh. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's gone. If
if you ever used it.
Yeah. I remember they said you couldn't put in a disc and have it burn it to your system like you could with a 360. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see what, if at all, they have any kind of remedy for that.
That functionality should just be in there because it's. I mean, not a lot of people used it, but it was still useful to have.
Well, I mean, it's awesome, for WWE games when you want to have your own music.
Yeah.
Because the music they put in those games is terrible. So, I mean, and then, you don't want to have your own credit character and they all have to come out to the themes you hear all the time anyway. So, it's just...
They all just come out to Mankind's theme.
Oh, so... Which one, the car crash or the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Either that or the Hardy Boys.
The music that is pretty much like production music. It's
nothing
special.
It has no discernible quality whatsoever.
Right? I swear I heard that on ESPN a bunch of times, back in the 90s. It was that's the Hardy Boys theme.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah, I think they use it for I think they still use it for occasional baseball games.
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea that this Dead Island Epidemic game existed either.
Yeah.
That it's apparently shutting down next month. So
Play
it while you can, I guess.
Yeah, it was an early access MOBA on Steam. Everyone got invites to that thing. I even have 4 extra ones in my Steam library, and no one ever played it that I know of.
Yeah, I just never heard of it. I was like, I never remember anyone saying, "Oh yeah, I played that game." It's either because it was so bad or just no one played it.
Well, that's probably partially it, but also it's MOBAs are so overly popular now or like so bloated. Like it's either going to be Dota or like League, and that's about it. And now the Heart of the Storm is getting a little in there. Heroes of the Storm, sorry, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean that's it.
Right.
And the only reason those kind of do well is because they have like kind of recognizable characters.
Right, yeah, I wouldn't play Heroes of the Storm at all if it wasn't for the Blizzard characters,
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm surprised that thing lasted that long.
Yeah.
Didn't get taken down earlier. If you're excited for that Minecraft story mode, it comes out October 13th, so in a little bit less than a month. I think I might try it out, actually, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Are you sold on it yet, or?
Nah, just because I'm pretty indifferent to like how Telltale has been doing this stuff lately. Like I think
for Tales.
Yeah, I think Borderlands is good, but it's just a lot of the same framework as their past few games.
Right. I'm interested to see how they could make it any different for Minecraft, just because they have to set it in that world and everything.
Yeah, I mean the story might be good, but that's kind of the only draw there is. It's certainly not gameplay.
And the voiceover work too, I think.
Yeah, but it's certainly probably not going to be the gameplay.
I've heard the gameplay's a little bit different, so it's going to be interesting to see how it's received by people.
Yeah.
If all the Minecraft people go to it and everything.
I just want to, what's that one? The Fables one?
Oh, Wolf Among Us?
Yeah, I want like another sequel to that.
Yeah, me too. I really want that. I'm surprised they didn't hotshot that thing because it was one of the popular ones.
Like they're making us Walking Dead Season 3, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's expected, but it's just like, man, Wolf Among Us was so popular, people love that thing. I'm surprised they're not making a second one already. Speaking of sequels, Dark Souls 3 already has a release date for the West. It's April of 2016. They apparently have also changed the way you do magic in that game. Are you sort of, I mean, I know you weren't a big fan of these games, you somehow wind up reviewing them though.
Yeah, Adam loves to do that.
It's like, oh, I know you reviewed the other games.
Well, also, it's like, I'm never going to buy this $60 game, so do you want to review it? Sure.
Yeah. Well, I think moving on to outside of gaming stuff, something that makes me really sad, Pacific Rim 2 is likely canceled due to infighting between Legendary Pictures and Universal Studios, and that's not the only game. Or not the only movie. Apparently, they also have problems with the Warcraft movie and another movie that stars Matt Damon of all people that comes out in November. I forgot what it's The Great Wall. So I mean, it's Pacific Rim 2 and the Warcraft movie might have some issues. They don't know whether it's because it appeals to a broad audience or not or whatever, but it's just it's crazy to me.
Well, at least the Warcraft movie's done. Like this,
right.
It'll at least come out. Like they didn't even start shooting Pacific Rim 2 yet, so
that really sucks, man.
Yeah, especially since like Godzilla did pretty well, which is kind of surprising because it was awful.
Yeah, and it's just like Pacific Rim might have not done killer at the box office or anything, but it was a beloved movie.
It did okay. Like the reason it got greenlit in the first place because it did really well internationally.
Yeah.
The same thing with Terminator Genesis. Like that's getting a sequel now because it's like the Chinese box office. Like it's more profitable than like Fury Road, which is disgusting.
Something that I'm not surprised is happening. Mary Poppins 2 coming out, set 20 years after the original. Yeah, I certainly remember the original author hating the Disney version. But man, Disney is just going overboard with these live action.
Yeah, did you see the Jungle Book trailer?
No, I haven't seen it, but
It looks bad. It looks like very cartoonish, and like not in a good way.
I mean, Cinderella was good. Maleficent was actually better than I thought it was going to be. But Maleficent was at least a different take on Sleeping Beauty or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like, man, they have so many of these things slated. Beauty and the Beast. Tim Burton's going to do a Dumbo. I mean, like, why? Alice in Wonderland 2? I mean, like, God, it's just... I get it. You guys don't make animated movies anymore. I get it that, like, you don't want to have Pixar and you already have Pixar and your own studio alternating. Just, come on now.
I'm curious about who they would get for Mary Poppins. Would you just cast, like, what's her name? Anne Hathaway?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't think she'll do it. I mean, I think she had a bad falling out with him with Enchanted, so.
I thought she did okay with that.
Or not Enchanted. What's that? The other Ella or Emma or something.
I thought it was Ella Enchanted.
It's Ella Enchanted, and then there's the Enchanted movie that had Amy Adams, which is like what kind of put her on the map a little bit.
Okay.
So. Which was basically like a live-action version of like all their princess movies in one thing.
Yeah, I'm sure Disney would love to have a machine that you could feed in one of their animated movies and just spit out like a live-action one.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're basically trying to do. They're making a freaking live-action Pete's Dragon again. Like, which was already live-action in the first place. I mean, like. How many of these? I guess until people just don't go to see them anymore. But my goodness, it's getting a little ridiculous.
I want there to be a live-action Fantasia. They dress with a mouse in a hat and a robe, and he's just dancing around for 30 minutes.
It's a little bit difficult to do, but wouldn't be surprised.
Do you think we'll ever get a Kingdom Hearts movie?
You know, if they ever come, you know what? If 3 is really the end, I would not be surprised. If 3 is the end of that arc,
I would say just divorced of all that and just have like, you know, like a kid just finds like the Keyblade and goes off an adventure. Because I think the problem with Kingdom Hearts like now would be it just has way too much backstory into it.
So, like as a way to kickstart the new era, make a movie first?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Because I think Kingdom Hearts 1 is fine enough, and 2 is getting heavy, but once they start getting into the backstories about like Xenoheart and Terra and Viridius, or whatever the hell his name was, it's like, this is way too much.
Yeah, Birth by Sleep, by the time they got to Birth by Sleep, it was like, okay, we are just going off the reservation here. And then, like, Dream Drop Distance, it was like, oh my god. Honestly.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon has announced their own on-demand service for their classic Nick programming called The Splat. Due to Viacom suing to close down the Nick reboot.
Yep. So my response to them is an emphatic fuck you, because Nick reboot used to be awesome, and whatever this thing is, it's not going to be as good. I can guarantee you that.
So for people like me who had no idea what that was,
Nick reboot used to be a website that had a 24-hour stream going on, where they showed old Nickelodeon shows from like 1996. Like it was randomized, but they had a schedule going on. Like you could see like well into advance like what was going to be on, and they had a lot of really offbeat Nickelodeon shows that I didn't remember. Like a show called 15. You ever heard of that?
No idea what that is.
It was a Canadian high school drama. It starred Ryan Reynolds, and he was like 14 years old. It was hilarious, and like it was a Canadian drama, about kids in high school, and they never went to class. Like all the dialogue happened between like class sessions and stuff. Like I watched a few episodes
So
on
it's kind of like Degrassi, except they didn't go to class.
Yeah, like I never even saw an adult on that show.
Wow.
And they showed like all the classics like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Salute Your Shores, Clarissa Explains It All that stuff. It didn't have commercials. Well, it only had commercials at the end. It would show period accurate commercials.
Wow.
So like at the end of it, at the end of like an episode of Rugrats, it would show like a commercial for Dr. Mario or like Zelda, like original ass like 1991 Link to the Past Zelda.
That's freaking awesome.
They had a randomized stream, but also if you paid like $5 a month, you could like log in and just watch any of the shows they had, just like on demand. And then once it got really popular, Viacom sued them. They were like, for legal reasons, and the guy just shut it down completely. And that's where the splat came in. Like, they'll have, admittedly, Nick Reboot wasn't like it wasn't great quality because a lot of it was like VHS stuff, which actually was kind of cool looking in itself. But I just don't like this corporate greed stuff.
I'm honestly surprised that we don't get more of this stuff. Like, I'm surprised Disney hasn't come out with their own, like they have a version of it, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah, like a lot of Disney stuff. That's when they had like Toon Disney or Disney XD.
Well,
so,
yeah,
like,
they still have that.
That was supposed to be like you can see all the old Disney cartoons on here. And then after like a year or two, they got rid of them.
Yeah, I think they probably figured that they could just make their own original. Well, once they bought Marvel, it was really like, oh, well, we can just make new Marvel cartoons. And to their credit, that's worked out, so I still watched until recently, where I just got to the point where it's like, oh, it's way too much.
Well, like Nick did this also, like 15 years ago when they launched like Nick at Night, where they catch all the old like reruns of all your classic shows. And after like 5 years, they're like, screw it, we're just gonna make our own stuff. That's awful.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. You can only live off the old stuff for a long time. The way Viacom's doing it, they're just having it there for the people that did like that channel, and if you want to watch those again, you can. I mean, admittedly, too, they'll also probably have a bigger library of stuff that you can get. The thing is, it's going to be the price, obviously, too. How much are they going to charge you? Are they going to up-res any of the stuff? Is it going to be just in original quality, So, I'm sure it will have ads, which will probably piss people off. So, you have that, too.
Yeah, there isn't, like, this old, insanely racist Dr. Mario commercial that Nickelodeon kept airing, and Nintendo aired it too. It was really funny.
The stuff you can get away with in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, it's like, wow. I showed it to a friend of mine. He's like, wow, this is bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, to me, it amazes me sometimes looking back at some of the things that you can get away with.
Yeah, so it's like it might do okay, but I just wish they could have worked with that one guy and just say split it like 80-20 and just say keep this going, we'll promote it, we'll give you all the masters and let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. It's like you said, it's corporate greed. I mean, Viacom's not gonna have a middleman when they can just do it themselves.
Yeah, but
it sucks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's what happens sometimes, though. It takes that person to put it up there and go, hey, is somebody interested in this? And then, word of mouth keeps spreading and people put it up there. It's kind of what happens now with, pretty much a lot of things just being on the internet or people putting anything out on the internet. You discover things that you forgot existed and you go, oh, crap. this is awesome. Like, and then you just get a bunch of people watching it, like that thing, and people take notice and they go, "Oh, sweet," you know.
Yeah.
I think the last thing that I had was, again, here we are with Doctor Who's about to begin their next season on Saturday, and before we even get one episode, there's already drama about Jenna Coleman leaving Doctor Who again for an ITV royalty drama about young Queen Victoria. Do you think that she's really leaving this time, or is this more...
I mean, maybe, because she's talked about like having to be talked back into the show in the past, so this might be a good chance for her to leave if she wants to. Be kind of a shame, but people are really split on her character, which I find kind of like weird. But I think she's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it on here a bunch of times, you know, with Daniel and a few of the other guys, that it's crazy to me, like how much people just rail on Clara.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I have a friend who hates Clara, but she loved Martha Jones. And I'm like, no.
What?
No.
I mean, it's just, I don't get that. Like, Martha Jones is probably, not because she was bad, but just because she was just there.
Yeah, she was bland.
Yeah. I mean, and then it was also really awkward. Just, you know, how they made her immediately sort of be in love with the Doctor or whatever.
Yeah, like jealous of Rose and the worst family life, and it's like, no.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, credit to, you know, them for not being racist or anything, but it's just like, okay, it's just like a little too much at some points here. It's like there's no story to it. It's like almost immediate. Okay, well, why don't we have context to why she would really be into him like that or whatever? It's just, you know, and then it just, again, there's nothing to her. I mean, what's her face? Catherine Tate's was just funny, and she was awesome, and you know, Karen Gillian's was, or Amy Pond was like probably one of the best ones, you know. So it's just, I mean, I've really enjoyed Clara, especially in that towards the tail end. I mean, they've made her be really important, probably just as important as maybe Rose or whatever. But you know, maybe some people hate that too.
Well, the only kind of two things I liked Clara as a character. The only two things I didn't like about her kind of were like her whole 1 foot in, 1 foot out mentality. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And
they make her have a life that's not centered around the Doctor, which makes sense because he's older.
Yeah, but it's still, I don't think it just quite meshed well because they kept having to find excuses to like get them together.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't like how much they amped her up, like to be as like important to the Doctor's life. Like they've done that with every companion pretty much, and it gets a little overwhelming in spots.
Yeah, because she does have that role of just like, oh, she's almost the Doctor. You know, they had that one episode where she was the Doctor because he was not there and all that stuff, and that really pissed people off. And I thought it was creative, but yeah, I agree with you that there's just certain parts where it's just like, whoa, okay, how much stuff does she do in this show already?
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens on Saturday, and of course, I don't know if we'll have Daniel on or any of the other guys on. I mean, I know Daniel's busy the next couple of weeks because Jeremy's doing Fact or Fiction for him, but you know, starting on Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll at least be able to have a segment where we talk about Doctor Who again until the show goes back off. So if you're a Doctor Who fan, there's another reason to check into the show. That being said, we should end the thing like we usually have been for a while now, with talking about the games that came out this week. Forza Motorsport 6, Xbox One, NHL 16 and Pro Evolution Soccer 16. FIFA 16 comes out next week. The Taken King expansion, which the top 5 video game expansions will be the 4-1 Games top 5 for this week due to that. And then the Tasmanian Tiger 4, which is apparently a sequel to the decade-old franchise due out on PC.
It's... I think the old games were like 3D platformers, and this looks like a 2D side-scroller. Like, what is going on here?
At least they tried something different.
That's like making a new Bubsy game. It's like, no, please don't.
Oh Lord, Bubsy. Yeah, no thank you on that. I mean, we're starting to hit some of the big games coming out. I mean, next week we have plenty of heavy hitters on that front too. So it's going to be interesting. You know, what some of the big leaders for September are. We know Skylanders will probably be in that boat. Disney Infinity will also be in that boat. Final Fantasy V is not coming to PC? My goodness. Well, that was inevitable, I guess. I'm sure 6 will come as well. They better not. They don't have an excuse not to have 9 at some point now.
The only excuse they would have is 9 never actually came to the PC before.
Well, 4, 5, and 6 did they?
No, but I mean those are just ports. I mean those are probably easier ports to deal with than 9. Like there is a way to get. The only way to get 9 really on there would just be to like load the emulator, like to sell the PlayStation emulator with like just that disc image and say, here, play it.
I don't know. They would at least up-res it or something like they have for the other games. I mean, they would just redo it like they have for 4, 5, and 4 and 5, and I'm sure 6 will be there. So.
But aren't they just ports of the Game Boy games?
No, they're up-res to PC. I mean, they're not up-res to like 1080p or anything.
No, but I mean, those are just still assets. Those are assets they probably still have, though. Like I don't think they.
But they make them in like at least 3D for the PC.
Yeah.
You know, or well, at least with the, I think it's the, I don't know if they're the, I think they are sort of the chibi versions, like they were in 3.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. It's something that's there for people who maybe never played the games, or maybe if you did and you just want to rebuy them again. Like, I have 3, 4, and the after years. Which apparently the ones for 4 aren't that great. I still don't know. I just bought them because they were on a sale. So, but yeah, I mean, so that's what's coming out this week. Like I said, next week there's already some big games coming out. So we're gonna get blasted with a bunch of games coming out every week after this. So should be exciting for everybody that's into buying games every week. I'm gonna put half the money down for my Rock Band 4 pre-order on Saturday. I'm really excited for that to come out already.
Yeah, I'm gonna be screwed in November.
Oh God, November is gonna be there. You got Tomb Raider, you got Fallout.
I got 2 Fallouts and a StarCraft.
Yeah, StarCraft, Halo 5 coming out towards the end of October. So I mean, plenty of stuff there. Alright, well that about does it for this week. We'll be back either Tuesday or Wednesday night, which means Wednesday morning or Thursday morning for you to talk about the rest of the Tokyo Game Show stuff and whatever else has been going on. Until then, see you guys later.
Later.